All right, so diving in today, the story of Samya Shahid,
Yeah.
a young British Pakistani woman.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a ton of sources here.
Wow.
Court documents, news reports,
Okay.
even an interview with her sister.
Really?
Our mission is to try to understand all the cultural and legal stuff
Yeah.
surrounding her death.
Interesting.
So think of it like we're peeling back the layers of
Okay.
a really heartbreaking onion.
Yeah, but hopefully a little less tear-inducing.
Right, hopefully less tears, yeah.
Yeah.
What gets me about Samya's story is how it shows that tension
Mm-hmm.
between tradition and freedom. You know,
Yeah.
this woman, vibrant, living a modern life in England,
Right.
but her Pakistani heritage and Muslim faith played a big part in her fate.
Yeah, and right at that intersection is where the tragedy starts.
Yeah.
Her family arranges a marriage
Oh.
to her cousin, Judri Shakil.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty common, actually,
Yeah.
within British Pakistani communities.
Sure.
But here's the thing.
Shakil
Yeah.
just got out of prison for a shooting,
Oh, wow.
and he's living in Pakistan.
Okay.
So if we stop and think about that for a second,
Yeah.
this detail really tells us something about the power dynamics.
It does, yeah.
I mean, a family accepting someone like that as a husband
Right.
for their daughter,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you wonder about the pressure on Samya, you know?
Yeah, was it a real choice or was there some force involved? I mean,
Yeah.
we can't really know for sure, but it definitely
Mm.
makes it more complex.
Yeah.
And it makes that text she sent, "I'm dying, I swear my life's a joke,"
Oh, yeah?
even more chilling. She was clearly scared about this whole thing.
She was.
But she went ahead with the wedding in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Sources even say her dad gave Shakil a house
Really?
right next to the family home.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
This wasn't just some small gesture. This was a big
Yeah.
financial commitment.
Right.
It really solidified the whole thing and probably put even more pressure on Samya.
Oh, for sure.
It says a lot about how much family honor and expectations mattered
Totally.
in this whole situation.
Okay, so the wedding happens.
Okay.
Samya comes back to England without Shakil.
Oh.
He was waiting for his spousal visa,
Right.
but even with the distance,
Mm-hmm.
he had control over her
Yeah.
video calls all the time.
Oh, wow.
Made her feel like she was being watched constantly.
Like someone's always watching.
Yeah.
It's that classic example. Control goes way beyond physical boundaries.
Mm,
Samya was stuck in a situation that was crushing her.
it was.
The sources show she was really depressed,
Yeah.
even saying stuff like, "I want to die." This wasn't just like marriage problems. This was a woman feeling completely suffocated.
And then this little bit of hope appears.
Oh.
She meets Sayer Mukhtar Kazam.
Okay.
They called him Ali,
Okay.
a British Pakistani guy living in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
They fall in love.
Wow.
And suddenly life with Shakil is unbearable.
Yeah.
And then, as luck would have it,
Okay.
Shakil's visa application gets rejected.
Wow, that's huge.
And that rejection gives her the power
Yeah.
to pursue an Islamic divorce.
Yeah, okay.
Which shows how important religion was to her,
Yeah,
even when looking for freedom.
right.
She stuck to her faith,
Yeah.
trying to navigate this crazy situation
Mm.
within the rules she knew.
Yeah. It's interesting how those two things are together, right?
Yeah,
Wanting freedom, but still respecting tradition.
exactly.
The imam even tried to reach out to Shakil
Really?
to get his side,
Wow.
but nothing.
Huh.
So the marriage was declared void.
Wow. That says a lot about her character, though, right?
Definitely.
Not just rebelling to rebel.
Yeah.
She wanted a real, religiously okay way out.
Mm-hmm.
But, as we'll see, even following the rules
Yeah.
couldn't protect her from the consequences of
Wow.
wanting love and happiness.
Yeah. And those consequences start to show when she and Ali
Mhm.
get married secretly.
Yeah.
Her family finds out.
Oh, no.
Totally cuts her off.
Remember that voice message?
The one where she says her kids won't know her parents?
Yeah, that's the price she paid
Wow.
for choosing love over obedience.
It's like a reminder
It is.
of how strong cultural norms and family can be,
They are, yeah.
especially in close communities.
Right.
She was shunned, alone,
Yeah.
all because she dared to make a choice.
Yeah.
That went against the grain.
It did. And it's with all this tension
Okay.
that we get to the trip.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Wow.
Tariq's mother-in-law dies in Pakistan,
Okay.
and she has to decide what to do.
And remember, she's already getting threats in England.
She is. And to understand this, we got to look closer at what honor killing means.
Right.
It's often done to women
Yeah.
who supposedly brought shame to their families.
Right.
Their actions, real or not, are seen as violating the family's honor.
Right.
And the solution, sadly, is usually violence.
It's awful. And the worst part is,
It's still happening,
it is.
even though it's forbidden by Sharia law.
Exactly.
How common it is, especially in parts of Pakistan, shows how deep those cultural norms go,
Yeah.
putting family reputation above a person's life.
So Samya knew the danger.
She did.
Her friend even said, pray I come back alive. But then her dad gets sick.
Oh, no.
And that's what changes it all.
Yeah, it's like love and loyalty against her own safety.
Right.
Facing the possibility of her dad dying
Yeah.
without seeing her.
It's a tough one.
It is.
She makes the decision to go back to Pakistan.
A decision that leads us to the next part of this story.
It does. And it does lead to something awful.
Yeah.
Samya gets to Pakistan, stays with a friend for a bit, and even leaves her passport and ticket with them, safekeeping, you know?
It's almost like she knew something bad was going to happen.
Right. And then her last message to Ali. Flying out tomorrow. Hope all goes well, inshallah.
Wow.
Her last words.
It's so sad. And then things get really bad.
Yeah.
Her father calls the police. Just says, my daughter has died.
Just like that.
But the explanations, all over the place. Heart attack, asthma, fell down the stairs.
None of it makes sense.
It really doesn't.
Sounds like they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, a cover-up.
And of course, with Islamic law, they have to bury her quickly.
Right, if it's not suspicious.
Which helps those involved, unfortunately.
Yeah, Ollie knew something was wrong right away.
Her husband.
Yeah, flew to Pakistan.
Oh, wow.
Only to find out she's already been buried.
Can you imagine losing your wife and then
Ow.
having to deal with all that in a foreign country?
It's a nightmare.
The quick burial is definitely suspicious, though.
Oh, yeah.
Makes you wonder if the authorities were involved.
Or just didn't care.
Either way, it adds to the whole mystery.
But Ollie, he's persistent.
Good for him.
Gets a copy of the autopsy report. That's when the truth comes out.
What did it say?
Strangulation ligature mark on her neck.
Oh.
They even had photos, leaked photos, showing the bruise.
That's undeniable proof.
It is.
No more hiding the truth.
And the focus shift to Shaquille, the ex-husband.
Right.
He admits to the rape and murder.
He does.
But it says he acted alone.
Too many things don't add up for that.
I know, right? Her father, Mohammed Shahid,
What about him?
his story keeps changing.
Really?
First a heart attack, then suicide. And he never mentions Ali.
That's so strange.
But get this. He was at Shaquille's house
When?
when the police got there.
Why would he be there?
Exactly. The task force thinks this was planned.
An honor killing.
Yeah, and they think Mohammed Shahid was involved.
What do they think happened?
They think he held her down while Shaquille strangled her.
That's horrible.
It is. It shows how much they controlled her life.
This wasn't just some random act.
Not at all.
This was to restore their honor.
And this is where things get even more messed up.
Okay.
Pakistani law has this thing called blood money.
Blood money.
Yeah, or dayat.
What's that?
The family of the victim can pardon the killer
They can.
if they get money.
So they could actually profit from her death.
It's crazy, right?
That's messed up.
It shows how strong these cultural things are.
Yeah, making it really hard to stop these crimes.
They did change the law later.
They did.
Yeah, no more blood money for honor killings.
But for Samya, it was too late.
Way too late. And sadly, she never got justice.
What happened?
Her father got out on bail.
He did.
Insufficient evidence.
Even with all that.
Even with all of it, and then he died before the trial.
Oh, wow.
But that doesn't end it.
What else happened?
They issued warrants for her mother and sister
For what?
for questioning. But they ran away to the UK.
They did.
Makes you wonder about their role in all this.
For sure. Were they involved in the cover-up? Or worse?
We have that interview with the sister, Medea.
Right.
She denies the whole honor killing thing.
What does she say happened?
Says the photos are fake. Her family's innocent.
But the investigators don't believe her.
Not at all. And they're still wanted for questioning.
So they're still out there.
Yep. The whole thing is a mess.
It really is.
Family secrets, different stories.
And the justice system's struggling to deal with it all.
It really is. And then there's the police officer,
What about him?
Mohammed Akil Abus.
What did he do?
He helped cover it up.
He did. How?
Took a bribe from Shaquille. Helped him get away.
Wow.
Even helped the mother and sister escape.
There's so much corruption.
It's everywhere. When you add in the pressure to protect family honor,
Yeah.
right and wrong get all mixed up,
It's scary how easily that can happen.
this whole story leaves you feeling uneasy, you know?
Definitely.
I wonder if the system really protects anyone.
It does, and it makes you wonder
Yeah.
if the truth even matters.
Sometimes it feels like it doesn't.
Especially when tradition is more important than freedom.
Samya's story is just tragic.
It is.
A young woman, so full of life,
Yeah.
silenced for trying to choose her own way.
It makes you think about
It does.
tradition versus freedom, the pressure to fit in,
Yeah.
the lack of choices for women in some cultures.
It all played a part in what happened to her. It's hard to believe. But after all that, after the confession, the autopsy, the task force saying it was an honor killing, Shaquille got out on bail
He did.
in 2018,
Mhm.
served just 2 years. No formal charges.
Yeah.
He's out there living his life. He even got remarried.
It's like the justice system failed her. Like her life meant nothing.
It really does. He even tried to use that new marriage
To what?
to move to the UK.
Seriously?
Yeah, thankfully MP Nawaz Shah stopped that.
She's been amazing.
She has fighting for Samya writing to the Pakistani Prime Minister and British authorities.
Raising awareness.
But even she says it's tough.
What does she say?
Sadly, after years of fighting for this case, I think there's little hope Pakistan will ever give Samya the justice she deserves.
That's heartbreaking. But it feels true, you know?
Does. Even with all the evidence, all the attention, no one's really been held responsible.
Sometimes even when we know the truth, justice doesn't happen.
Especially when you're dealing with these cultural things and,
Right.
and the system itself.
Samya's story, it's just awful.
A young woman. So much life ahead of her.
And for what?
Because she tried to choose her own path.
It makes you think, have you ever felt that pressure to
Yeah.
conform, to make choices for others instead of yourself?
I think we all have in some way.
What would you do if you were trapped? Samya's courage, wanting love and happiness even when it was dangerous, it shows how strong people can be.
It really does. And even though she didn't get legal justice, the fight for her continues, challenging those traditions, empowering women, making sure stories like hers aren't forgotten. That's a fight we can all be a part of.
I think that's what we have to take away from all this.
As we wrap up, think about this. What can you do in your life, your community, to support women's rights? How can you challenge those harmful norms so everyone can be free to choose without fear? Samya's fight might be over, but the fight for a better world, that goes on. It's a fight worth fighting.